From the KATC Weatherland, here's Rob's forecast.
Welcome back. Well, some severe weather late this afternoon, early this evening. We'll talk more about that in just a few seconds. Harvey looking better for us, worse for our friends to the west, but nonetheless, a tropical storm will be riding through the area tomorrow, which will make the weather at the very least interesting. More on all the things we face with Harvey coming up in just a bit. But first off, let's go to the Doppler because we do have some very active storms that are producing a couple of isolated tornadoes. We've had a couple of tornadoes reported from northern Vermilion Parish in through Acadia Parish, and now some tornado warnings also going across portions of Jeff Davis, moving into Allen Parish as well. This warning is about to expire. The cell that was with it is pretty much done with, so we'll keep an eye on things, but we could see a few more spin-ups. Tornado warnings that we have going to off to the north and west, northern Jeff Davis Parish, producing the possibility of some damaging winds. We'll first take a look at Power Doppler HD, and the cells already weakening, so that is the good news. Quick look at the velocity here, and we'll put that in motion. Again, there is the possibility of a circulation here just west of the Fenton area. Don't see anything that really shows up overtly as a tornado, so that is the good news. We'll go back to Power Doppler HD here, and again, there's not a whole lot that's showing up right now that is indicating the possibility of rotation in either of these storms. Also the storm that was in Acadia Parish moving generally off to the west-northwest. We'll take a look at the velocities with this cell. And again, I'm not seeing a whole lot going on with respect to any kind of velocities that are problematic. So we'll open it on up. We'll keep an eye on these cells for right now, but did want to talk about all the bigger picture features that are going on across Acadiana. First, the flood watch. That continues through Thursday, but may get dropped as early as tomorrow night, depending on how things work out. So that's the good news. This thing will be over with by Thursday for us, but as we head into the weekend, looks much quieter. So flood watches across the entire region. Still flood warnings for our friends across southwest Louisiana, western Calcasieu, and also western Cameron Parish. That's through 7 o'clock tonight. Likely will get extended. We have more warnings back to the west, and that's all associated with the additional rainfall that is going to be flooding rainfall, but we think it's going to stay mainly southwestern, western Louisiana, East Texas. But we'll have to keep an eye on some of this activity moving eastward. But as we mentioned over the last couple of days, drier air is wrapped around into Harvey, so that is the good news. That's why we're just seeing scattered showers, not the persistent heavy storms that produce flooding rain, and that's the way it may go overnight tonight for most of us. But we'll have to keep an eye on things. Always have to be on the lookout for these outer rain bands, see what's going on over toward Mobile. We could see additional ones forming up here overnight tonight, so we'll keep our fingers crossed. But a flooding rainfall like what we saw last August is not in the cards for Acadiana, but certainly a possibility for southwestern, western Louisiana, and bad flooding will continue across eastern Texas as well. So here's Harvey. Notice the center of circulation. We think all the heavy weather, and you'll see this later on, stays north of Harvey's center, maybe wraps around to the west, but to the east, just more scattered activity. 50-mile-an-hour winds, that means we do expect it to make landfall. It's a mid-range tropical storm. It's moving to the north-northeast at 6, so that means it's going to make landfall tonight, overnight tonight. Here's the position right on the coast, right around 1 a.m., and then advancing inland as we get into the evening and overnight hours. So we'll still be on the dirty side of the storm, but the heavy rains will probably be confined to this cone area, and as it moves off to the north, that heavy rains will spread into northern Louisiana as well, and then you can see the remnant low going way up into the Midwest. So locally, we do have tropical storm warnings along the entire Acadiana coastline, including the coastal parishes, also including Calcasieu, Jeff Davis Parish. What does that mean? Tropical storm force winds greater than 39 miles an hour possible. I think that's going to be mostly in tropical rain bands. It's certainly going to be a breezy day tomorrow. We'll talk more about that. Tropical storm watch beyond St. Mary Parish off to the east. So as we take a look at what's going on with the surge, now the latest numbers in line with what I've been saying for the last several days, 2 to 4 feet above normal tides. That means inundation levels up to 1 to 3 feet. So there's going to be coastal flooding along along Highway 82 for sure coming up this evening, overnight tonight, and then along the entire coastline, 1 to 3 foot rise in waters right around Vermilion Bay as well. Notice some higher water marks south of Intracoastal City. Also notice the Vermilion right here. When the water comes up on the coast, that blocks the Vermilion from heavy rainfall. But the good news is the rainfall amounts look much lower than what we have been indicating over the last several days, and some coastal inundation as well across portions of St. Mary Parish, lesser amounts as you go over into eastern Louisiana. So what are we going to see wind-wise? Well, it's going to be a blustery day tomorrow. These are wind gusts starting overnight tonight. The wind's picking up, gusting 20 to 25. Notice the center of circulation right here. So you're going to see winds, tropical storm force right near the center. Lake Charles down through Cameron, perhaps Pecan Island, and here we go over toward Jennings as well. We advance through the early morning hours, and we'll notice those winds generally out of the south, gusting to 30 to 35 first thing tomorrow morning, and then the center of circulation continues to move off to the north. The winds turn out of the southwest tomorrow afternoon. Still breezy conditions into tomorrow evening, especially northern parishes of Acadiana, so we'll keep that in mind, especially northwest Louisiana. As for rainfall, predictive radar indicating a few heavy tropical rain bands, at least in the near term through tonight and midnight, and we look at our WeatherCast model showing much the same. We still are on 24-hour call here in the weather lab. The heaviest rains, flooding rains, staying north and west of the center of circulation as it moves well inland through tomorrow afternoon, and then into northern Louisiana, we think late tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow evening, and then drier air begins to work its way in as we head into tomorrow night and Thursday. Rainfall totals, we're going to say 2 to 6 for Acadiana, but notice the numbers get much higher as you get to the west, and where you see these areas of yellow, that's 8 inches or better, and then there are going to be spots that catch up to a foot of rain, eastern Texas, Toledo Bend, into northwestern and western Louisiana. So better for most of us in Acadiana. That's the good news. As for the threats, tides 2 to 4 feet above normal, inland inundation up to 1 to 3, plan for additional 2 to 6, isolated amounts up to a foot southwest and western Louisiana. Wind-wise, winds pick up tomorrow. That'll be the gusty day, 20 to 30, few gusts to 35, 45 in a tropical squall or two that we're going to see tomorrow, and then the winds die down going into Wednesday night, Thursday, and still that marginal threat of an isolated tornado or two. That's been the biggest story so far with Harvey over the last several days. So high rain chances tomorrow, then it drops down, typical normal summer-like weather as we go into the weekend. Going into next week, European model suggests another tropical system, week one, but maybe another tropical storm threatening the area along about Tuesday or Wednesday of next week. So tropical season looks like it's going to deliver on being a busy season for sure, and there'll be other systems to talk about beyond next week as well.
All right, take a breather for now.
All
Thanks,
right,
Robin. Justin, SLCC, all campuses also closed tomorrow. Add that to UL closed tomorrow, and all public schools across Acadiana closed tomorrow. Still ahead here.